presentation.
Who? No, come on. What?
Horrible.
All right, Wap. I have a question for you. Are you ready to talk about Josh Gordon?
I'm really getting tired of talking about Josh Gordon. It's been way too many years dealing with this guy. I know you love him ever since he was your brownie. But this guy is a clown.
The days.
And if it wasn't for the Patriots, we wouldn't even be talking about him, because who else is getting this guy reinstated?
So do you think that too? Do you think it's like has
100%.
something to do with it's because it's the Patriots?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, like they get like special treatment because the whole thing. You remember with the Brady put out the Twitter, the video on Twitter of like the two of them working out and stuff. I just found that kind of interesting. That right, like if it wasn't for the Patriots, is this happening? Like, is he reinstated right now if he plays for the Oakland Raiders?
I don't think so. I don't know why. I don't but it's almost like the league owes them for all the different things. It's kind of like a makeup for all the crap that they've gone through. But it's just, putting aside whether or not there's a conspiracy or anything like that, the bottom line is Josh Gordon, how many get-out-of-jail-free cards do you get in the NFL? Ray Rice, who was a model citizen, hit his girl. It's crazy what he did, but never heard from him again.
Right.
Guys have done a lot less, I feel.
Absolutely.
One-time offenses. I mean, Adrian Peterson hit his kid with a branch. I mean, I don't want to talk about the stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, but a branch would have been a delight. So, I mean, he lost a whole season. I mean, I don't know. I just think that Josh Gordon has said, screw you to the NFL so many times, and now he's back again. So, I don't know. I mean, I like to root for a guy, but it's almost at the point now where it's like, how many chances do you get?
Yeah, well, all right. And obviously, right. And I think the question for fantasy owners right now is should they give him another chance? Obviously, okay, so the NFL has decided to, the Patriots have decided to, so the question really is, as a fantasy owner, are you willing to give him another chance? Right now, he's currently being drafted in the middle of the 8th round. I believe the 32nd wide receiver off the board, 35th wide receiver off the board. So he's going in the range. A couple guys going before him, D.D. Westbrook, Marvin Jones, and just after him are guys like Geronimo Allison and Larry Fitzgerald. So how do you feel about where he's currently going ADP-wise, and is he a guy that you are willing to take the leap of faith on and take a chance on this year?
As much as I don't think he deserves another chance, he got it.
Okay.
I don't make those decisions, but now that he has that chance, middle of the 8th, to get a guy that's 6'3", 225, that runs like a gazelle, who catches the ball like Chris Carter, and it's basically he's Larry Fitzgerald if Larry Fitzgerald could run, which is scary. Because Larry Fitzgerald's still playing because he's so good at catching the ball and running routes. This guy does that, plus has like 4.4 speed or 4.35 speed.
Larry Fitzgerald's 67 years old.
I mean, he's like 125.
That's right, he did whoop your little ass. Joe Louis was 75 years old when he fought.
So that's a good one.
Poor Larry. We love you, Larry.
But hey, Larry's being drafted with some young, up-and-coming players, so God bless the guy.
Tell me why I should take Josh Gordon in the 8th round.
Well, Josh Gordon, believe it or not, out of all receivers last year that had, I think it was 70 catches or more, 70 targets or more, he led all of them with yards per reception with 18. I think
18.
I think Hill was 17 and Evans was 17.5. He was 18. He was number one. And listen to those two, Mike Evans and Tyreek Hill.
Wow,
so he was number one. The thing I love the most about Josh Gordon, if he stays on the field, which this has to be the last chance, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, everybody's telling him, listen, you are so lucky. It's only because of Brady and Bell and Kraft that you somehow got a chance.
Right.
You have to at least play 1 or 2 years and get some kind of contract. So, that being said, Gronk retires. Edelman's all alone. Edelman's 33. People are like, oh, Edelman, Edelman gets hit so much. Concussions and big hits. I don't see him getting through a whole season. So the bottom line is, you got these rookies, you got, all these guys, you got Demaryius Thomas, who's old and washed up, I think.
This aggression will not stand, man.
So my point is that Josh Gordon is 6'3", 225. Gronk is gone. Who's going to be the red zone guy? Who's going to be the guy downfield? He's probably both. That's rare to have a guy that is not a possession guy. He's not a big play guy. He's not just a sideline fly pattern. He's everything. So I love him if he stays clean, which I think he will, because he'd have to have something wrong with him. He would have to be a retard to blow this opportunity.
Okay, well maybe we should tell that to Rain Man because he practically bankrupted a casino and he was a retard.
What?
He was a retard.
Just don't smoke weed for 1 year, dude. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Yeah, well, what was interesting is that the news came out. It was a lot more than weed. It was a lot more than weed with Josh Gordon. I mean, Josh Gordon. There was a documentary that I watched, and he was like literally, and this is when he was playing in the NFL. He's a bona fide like all-pro wide receiver, and he was walking the streets of Gainesville, Florida. I don't know what he's doing there, but he's walking the streets of Gainesville, Florida, walking up to random people, asking them if they could get drugs. I mean, that's the extent.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that was the rabbit hole that this guy obviously can go down. And I guess it wasn't just marijuana. But obviously, look, if a couple of years ago, if I'm playing for the Cleveland Browns and Jason Campbell is the best quarterback I have, I'm doing drugs.
You're doing drugs.
Right?
Stoned, ripped, twisted. Good people.
I'm just...
I mean, how do you not do drugs with Jason Campbell throwing you the ball?
I mean,
that's a tough
you
situation.
stay playing with the Browns, or live under like a freeway, overpass and get high. The whole Josh Gordon thing brings up some very interesting questions for me that I think I haven't really heard being talked about a lot. So it's the Patriots. It's the Patriot way, right? They don't mess around. They don't need Josh Gordon to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they did, obviously a guy like that helps. And of course, they want talent like that. But here's the one thing we know the Patriots don't want: distractions and BS and drama or anything like that. They don't tolerate that.
They very rarely have that.
Right, because when they have somebody that's causing that, they drop them. Well,
they deflate balls.
Okay, Deflategate.
Their owner is getting hand jobs in massage parlors. I mean,
are you tired and stressed out from winning NFL championships? Then come see us at Madame Zen's Asian Massage Parlor, where we specialize in Swedish, deep tissue, hot stone, and of course, we jerk you off.
I mean, they don't really like to be in the limelight. They do Spygate, they're very low-key team. They're very low-key with their... But besides all that, maybe Josh Gordon is a diversion from Brady.
Right, there you go.
And from Kraft going to massage parlors in Jupiter, which is not far from where we are right now.
But the point is, typically you don't see it from players. Like, okay, so they brought in Chad Johnson. Remember the Chad Johnson experience? They bring him in, and look, it doesn't work. They cut him. But the point is, I guess I'm just curious that if the Patriots are willing to welcome him back and the Patriots are willing to take a chance, I would imagine it's because they know something. It's because they feel very confident about whatever his off-season treatment was, whatever rehab he attended, whatever he did to get to this point. I would imagine the Patriots.
What do they have to lose, though? Right now, they have no receivers. They have all these rookies. They have all these old veterans. They have Philip Dorsett. They have all these guys. Like, they know Edelman's getting older and older, and he's taking hits, and so they need somebody. Gronk retired.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That.
I mean,
Gronk's been there for like a decade as that guy that you could rely on to block and to catch and to,
Yeah, I guess what you're right, because like Gordon's not a diva. It's not about him being a distraction
it's just a bad habit.
It's just going to be real simple. Okay, we have him for 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden he fails a drug test, and he's off the team, and that's okay. We move on and we adjust accordingly, and maybe they're thinking, look, if that by then. Maybe N'Keal Harry is ready to step into that role.
Or
so
maybe they found
right.
somebody else. They get the new kid, the undrafted rookie.
Right.
So
the other thing though that I found. So my question for you, what I want your thoughts on also is, I mean, obviously you talk about the 18 yards per reception. We talk about we know what Josh Gordon can be. We know what he's been in the past and how dominant he's been able to be and different things like that. But I think if you're going to draft Josh Gordon because of what his ceiling could be, based off of what the Patriots offer, their defense looks much better. Looks like they nailed the draft once again. They've got some great young defensive players. We know that what they're probably going to still want to do, even with the Josh Gordon, is run the ball, play defense, and that's why, again, a guy, Tom Brady was, everybody, similar to Drew Brees, gone are the days where you're looking at Tom Brady as a elite fantasy quarterback. I guess my question is, what do you feel Josh Gordon's ceiling is in this offense, even if he stays on the field and plays all 16, based off the fact that they're not I don't think they're going to need him to be a Randy Moss. They're not going to need him to do a lot. So are there going to be too many games where he's just game scripted out because it's just not needed?
Well, I don't think there's that many weapons in the passing game. There's James White, Edelman, and Josh Gordon. That's the only three. I mean, Benjamin Watson. I mean, there's a lot of no-name guys that Josh McDaniels is a dynamic offensive coach. They like to put the foot on the pedal and put up points. They have the Jets improving. They're going to score more points. Buffalo's improving. I don't know what's going on with the Dolphins, but no, the AFC East is getting stronger. So I think his ceiling is, 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns with 80 catches. I mean, he could be that good. I remember Randy Moss was washed up. He came there and he had like a 24 touchdown season and 18. So the potential is there. I think Brady he had an off year last year, but he still could throw the football. And they have a little bit of a rapport. So I think, listen, Josh Gordon, if he stays clean, he's going to return way more than 8th round value. The only reason he's in the 8th round is because you're worried he's going to get suspended again. Otherwise, he'd probably be more like a 5th rounder. So, I mean, you take the chance if you risk, if you like risk and you like reward. But if you took chances at the beginning of the draft with guys like Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, and guys like that, well, then maybe you don't want to be too aggressive with a guy like that.
That's an excellent point. So essentially, what you're saying is that it's not necessarily about answering the question as to whether or not you take Josh Gordon in the 8th round where he's going right now. And again, we're talking about these things because a lot of people are going to be drafting this weekend,
right,
and or over these next couple weeks. So right now, 8th round. Essentially, what the WAP is saying is that it's not necessarily about whether or not you take Josh Gordon in the 8th round or not. It's all, of course, based around what you've done up until that point,
right,
and how much risk your team is able to handle at that point.
Absolutely.
So you like his upside, but obviously, if you've already taken risk before that, you may want to go. You may want to go to a Fitzy, play it a little bit safer. No reason to take too many more risks.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's
wraps up Josh Gordon.
I think that wraps up Josh Gordon.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have to talk about him anymore.
I hope we get to talk about him all the time. We hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. If you did, or if you didn't, please make sure to leave a like there at the bottom of the screen. Also, of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, make sure you tap on that bell to be notified of all the fresh content that the Two Bald A-Holes will be bringing you. We're going to be bringing you that fresh content, not just leading up to the start of the season. So we're going to help you out with your drafts and different things like that. But we're also going to be bringing you fresh content throughout the entire fantasy season. We're going to be launching our full show, which will be covering, obviously, game recaps. We're going to help you with start-sit advice. We're going to help you with waiver wire advice. We're going to be taking your questions. We're going to help to analyze your trades, different things like that. So you're not going to want to miss any of that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tap on that button. You can also follow us on Twitter. And, of course, most importantly, remember, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from the Bald Army. You don't have to be bald to be part of the Bald Army, but all bald people will receive special treatment, of course. But we do want to hear from you. We want to know your thoughts. Did you agree with what you heard? Did you disagree with what you might have heard in one of our segments? We want to know, or maybe you just want to throw some general insults our way.
Are you about to call me an asshole?
Doesn't matter. We love it. We want to hear it all. So please make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section. And we look forward to seeing you again real soon.